What is up, Dom Army? It's your boy Royce. This video is going to be a really special video because I am making a big announcement related to my life. I recently got married. Yeah, it's extremely exciting. You know, I'm extremely happy. Jackie and I, you know, my wife, which feels weird to say, we're both extremely happy, you know, 1 month into this marriage. So far so good. So, you know, the whole point of this video will be, you know, talking about what it's like getting married in medical school. You know, I'd like to provide a few perspectives on the whole situation, you know, how we planned it, how it kind of fits in with everything, what has changed, what hasn't changed. I mean, where do I even start? You know, obviously getting married in medical school comes with a lot of benefits. You know, now that I have this cheap piece of gold on my finger at all times, it can act as a permanent thimble, you know, whenever I need to sew on the go. And honestly, the lower the purity of gold, the better, because that means, you know, the metal is less soft, it can handle more of those needle pokes. Obviously, getting married comes with tax benefits. So for me and Jackie, you know, we can file taxes jointly, and you know, it can be a collaborative effort, really a great experience to work as a team and work evenly. It'll be just like my group projects at undergrad. But no, you know, on a real note, I feel like not much has changed, to be honest with you. We've been very loyal to each other. We've been in this, you know, very loving and supportive relationship. And you know, something else too is we've been engaged for like 2 years, which I feel like is a long time. And that's just because of you know, COVID. We wanted, you know, a celebration where we could involve our family and friends. That just necessitated us to push it back. Besides me calling her my wife instead of my fiance, not much has really changed in our relationship in a really great way. It does feel a little weird getting married at such a young age. It feels like, you know, I don't know, like before I never really felt like I was an adult. You know, as an undergrad, obviously, you know, you're older than 18, you know, you can vote, but obviously you're kind of still not an adult because, you know, being in school is kind of like a bubble. And now that I'm a medical student for, you know, I guess it's been 2 years now, you know, still I kind of feel like I'm living in, you know, this bubble that is school. I mean, I guess I feel a little more as an adult because I have to, you know, buy groceries and not eat on campus all the time. But I mean, no, yeah, the transition from kid to adult hasn't really hit me. But you know, after this wedding, I'm like, wow, I'm like a married person now. This is a huge milestone in life. I feel like it's only really downhill from here. You know, that's just such an amazing moment in my life. But yeah, so those are just some of my thoughts on how it feels to finally be married, how it feels to be married to my soulmate, you know? So in terms of actually, you know, fitting in the marriage into medical school, I will say that I don't think there's ever really a good time to get married as a medical student. For me personally, you know, as you guys know, I'm an MD PhD student, which means, you know, I do 2 years of medical school, then I do 4 years of my PhD, and then I do 2 more years of my medical school. Being in the PhD now, believe it or not, it's actually chiller than medical school. Like, it's obviously a lot of work still, but, you know, in terms of flexibility of your scheduling, in terms of, you know, being able to take, you know, a week or two or a few weeks off at a time, you can really accommodate for that, unlike in medical school where, you know, you have a very structured and rigid schedule when it comes to clerkships, when it comes to classes. The PhD for me has been a great time to get married because, you know, I just simply talk to my PI and tell her, you know, the day I'm about to leave on my honeymoon, hey, I gotta go, you know, I'm gonna get married. And, you know, she has no choice but to say, good luck. You know, I can't cancel my flight, you know what I mean? But no, actually, like, my PI has been really supportive. I feel like anyone in my situation, you know, a PI will never not let you get married. And by the way, PI stands for Principal Investigator. It just means your research mentor, your PhD advisor. So we just kind of aimed for my PhD, and that just worked out really well. You know, we planned up until that point, you know, got all the logistics settled, which is a lot for a wedding, by the way. Yeah, the execution was perfect. I will say, you know, the wedding day itself was absolutely perfect. The weather was amazing. We got to see a lot of great family and friends. You know, the honeymoon itself was amazing too. We went to Europe. I got back last week. I'm now officially re-addicted to coffee. I mean, you know, when in Rome, you can't not, you know, drink the espresso. We sent out invites about half a year before the wedding, and yeah, just made sure it was all planned out. I will say the planning was a little hard remote because, for example, we couldn't like go to the venue to like try the food or taste the cake flavors, which was a little unfortunate, but you know, the venue we knew personally, we'd been to events that they've catered for, and we knew the food was gonna be fire, and it turned out to be, yeah, actually pretty fire. Reserving for photographers and the DJ and like, you know, videographer. Obviously, you know, planning out things like the master schedule, you know, at the venue for the day of, that kind of stuff. You know, we just kind of had to, you know, get as much information as we could possible from the venue organizers, because we were all remote, and we just had to make sure everything was planned. And it also helps to have a dedicated wife who luckily was able to plan for most of the wedding. But I tried my best to do my part, at least towards the end of the wedding planning. It's kind of funny because a week before the wedding happened, we looked at the wedding forecast, and literally it was sunny for an entire week up until the wedding, rainy on the wedding day, and then sunny every day after. And we were honestly a little concerned. Lo and behold, the wedding day was actually perfect weather. It was like sunny, like 60, 70 degrees, just absolutely gorgeous. The ceremony was amazing. The reception, the food, our first dance, everything just went perfectly. I choreographed the first dance, by the way, so I was really proud about that. Yeah, I couldn't have asked for a more perfect wedding with a more perfect person, honestly. It just feels great to have this one amazing life event achieved as perfectly as it could have been, in my opinion. It's kind of funny in the medical system, like I've had residents tell me like, oh, you're gonna get married. Well, during PhD is a good time to have kids too. And I was like, wait, hold up. Like I was saying with being a student, I don't feel like a full adult, even though I'm like 24, obviously. How could I, as a kid, raise another kid? I just thought that was pretty funny. That's essentially all I wanted to talk about in this video. I mean, obviously, you'll see me as a married man in future videos, and I'll provide more perspective there, but these are just some initial thoughts that I had. I also wanted to share this extremely exciting news with you guys, because I feel like, you're gonna see the ring on my finger regardless, so I might as well just tell you guys. And yeah, the last video I made, that was the first video back from my honeymoon, the one where I talked about my YouTube account almost being demonetized, which was actually, very scary. I'm sure some of you might have seen this ring on my finger, glistening in my artificial lighting. Thank you all for being such great fans. I still really appreciate the DMs I get, people saying like, thank you for all the help. I got these medical school interviews, these acceptances because of your channel. That really means a lot to me, honestly, that I can reach out to these people and have such an impact. It's very gratifying for me. And I've also been recognized in person at random places. Like obviously at UPenn I've been recognized. So I was walking with Jackie through the campus, and this one sophomore saw me and was like, hey, like, you're on YouTube. And he was just so, wholesome and nice. And, he wasn't asking for anything. He wasn't like, hey, can you edit my, essays? Can you like do this for me, do that for me? He literally just said, like, I know you're busy, but thank you for, all the, stuff you put out and all the help you've given me and helping me, potentially decide to do MD PhD. And also literally yesterday, I'm at Las Vegas, by the way, right now, at a buddy's house. And we went to the UNLV rec center to play basketball. And literally someone there recognized me. He walked up and he was like, we were in the middle of like a 4v4 basketball game. And he like just said like, are you on YouTube? And I was like, wait, are you talking to me? He was like all the way on the sidelines. And again, this person was like extremely nice. Wasn't like asking me for anything. Just wanted to say like, I follow your YouTube, good luck with everything. That kind of stuff just, it just feels so great. I'm glad my YouTube is not demonetized. I was actually really scared by that. And yeah, it's, things are really moving in life. It's kind of crazy. So anyways, I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.